Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to review a fragrance from the house of Nombres de Orio. It's my very first fragrance that I've reviewed from this line, and it is none other than Vanille. Here is the bottle and what it actually looks like. Now, it comes in only one size, 100 milliliters. The bottle is, very simple. It's just glass bottle. It says the name Vanille on the very front of it, and Nombres de Orio is kind of on the back of it, but you can kind of see through where it says Nombres de Orio on it. So you can see the bottle is pretty interesting. The cap, it's like a heavy plastic, and it has this like wire over the top of it, but that is pretty much the design. It comes in this box. It's a red box basically that says Le Nom Vanille on the front of it, and Nombres de Orio is kind of on the side. It's red and it pops off. So it's another one of those pop-off boxes. So be very careful when opening it. You don't want to pop it open and your bottle fall on the floor. I'm not a fan of these kind of boxes. So just be careful of that. And it also comes in this plasticky sleeve that kind of goes over it. But yes, so this fragrance was released in the year 2011. It's available again in one size for $230. It's 100 milliliters, $230. The only size that I've actually seen. You can see it and get it at like Lucky Scent. Mint New York will ship it as well. There's a couple of stores who actually carry this fragrance. So it is on the pricier side. It is a niche fragrance. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the actual notes for this fragrance. The notes. For the top, we have petitgrain, clove, rum, and bitter orange. For our mid, we have vetiver, sandalwood, Gaiac wood, ylang ylang, and for our base we have amber, tonka bean, vanille, tolu balsam or balsam, leather, and musk. So, if I'm to give this a smell, this really is, as its name implies, it's a vanilla fragrance. However, it's a vanilla fragrance. It's the best vanilla fragrance that's not a vanilla fragrance. I know that sounds really, really strange, but hear me out, and it may make a little bit more sense of what I'm trying to say towards the end of the review. So the first thing that you're going to get is you're going to get this, what I call like a smoky type of a scent. Now, what it is that you're actually smelling, at least what I'm smelling when I come off, right off the grain, is the petitgrain, a little bit of rum, and a heavy dose of clove. The clove is very, very similar, or very similar, I wouldn't say completely similar, to the one that you'll find in like Musc Ravageur. It's not, though, heavy. And Musc Ravageur really comes at you and just like slaps you in the face. This one's a little bit better blended with the petitgrain and with the rum. You can get those kind of notes out of it, and it's really apparent for it. The vanilla is always there, ever present. It just becomes a little bit stronger as the note kind of goes on. Overall, it feels like a smoky vanilla type of a scent that has an incensey type of vibe. Now, I suspect that's because of the petitgrain, and what I found with petitgrain in general, it's the petitgrain. For those of you who have smelled, there's another fragrance from Andy Tower, L'air du désert marocain, basically, and it kind of has a similar vibe to it that's kind of in the background. I don't want to say they're not similar scents, but they have a similar vibe to it from the petitgrain. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, smoky vanilla, clove, rum, and it does have a very nice leather presence. Basically, that's kind of undertoning it. And vetiver, if you're a fan of vetiver, you'll pick out the vetiver. It's not a heavy vetiver-based fragrance, but you're definitely going to pick out the vetiver in this scent. So overall, again, classifying it, we're talking about a smoky leather type of a scent. Now, or a smoky vanilla type of a scent. When I say that it's not really a vanilla, when I usually smell vanilla fragrances, they almost come off as edible, and you might be tempted to think that this is like an edible vanilla. It's not. It's really not a gourmand, even though it does have a very heavy vanilla presence. You don't really get the impression that you want to eat someone or anything like that off of this fragrance. That's not when it gives it across. And for that, it kind of makes it a little bit weird and a little bit harder to place. Now, it's not really masculine, and it's not really feminine. It's really ambiguous. It's just a great smelling scent. Doesn't really have a gender that I would really put to it, and I can definitely see both men and women wearing the scent pretty much for it. Now, another interesting thing about this fragrance, and I don't want to take credit for this, there's a user on Fragrantica who I was reading through comments after I compiled my notes, and I saw his comment and I thought, that's exactly what I think about this fragrance. And it's funny he pointed that out, because I haven't really noticed it until I read that comment, and I thought he's absolutely right. The comment was something along the lines of, I bought this fragrance in the summer and I absolutely loved it. When I came to the winter, basically, is when it was just meh. And that's exactly what I'm finding. When I purchased this one in the summer, and I was pretty much all for it, gun ho. And when it was warm, I was like, wow, this fragrance is awesome and it's great. And then I took it to the winter, where I would think by the smell of it that it would actually do the best, and that wasn't the case. It just kind of went flat, basically. I'm not sure what to attribute it, at least flat in my nose, or to me. In the heat, it does excellent. In the cold weather, not so much, which is contrary to what I'm smelling. It's really strange, and that's the best way that I can actually put it. So spray-wise, I would go between 1 and like 2 sprays maximum. This is a very potent fragrance that will definitely project, and it will definitely, I wouldn't say last a long time on your skin, but it will definitely project, and it will definitely leave a scent trail around you. It will fill the room up. I wore this once to work when I was, during the testing phase, and had to get that work test phase in. And as I'm testing it, I'm in a conference room, and I'm waiting for, 2 people to join in the meeting. And the 2 people come in, and the first thing they comment as soon as they get in the room was, "Wow, it smells like heavy vanilla in here. I wonder if somebody was in here with vanilla." And I was like, "Oh, it's me." And they're like, "Oh." And then I go, "Does it smell bad?" And they're like, "No, it doesn't smell bad. It just smells like heavy vanilla." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's pretty much the comment. It filled the room, and I only had, I think it was like 2. No, I had 3 sprays on at that time. So, and that I would classify as too much if it's filling the room with that scent. So be very careful on the trigger for this one. Go 1, maybe 2 sprays, and you're good with this one. Okay. Now, as far as season goes, I kind of mentioned it. I think it's all season. You can wear it pretty much in all seasons, but I personally think it does better in the warmer months. In the summer, spray 1 spray on, and it comes off as a very unique scent during the summer. During the winter, on the other hand, it was a little bleh to me. Some other people thought completely different, and otherwise, the best thing I would say is try it on your skin during both warm and cold weather. See how it actually does. Age group, it's a little bit of more of a mature scent. I would suggest that anyone outside of the ages, like anyone above maybe like outside of college, like maybe 23, 24, feel free to try and pull it off. Again, those are just relative suggestions. If you feel like buying it and you're younger, go nuts. All right. And on to the ratings. So rating wise, again, or not rating wise, sorry, but I took this one out to Times Square. All right, as usual, had 100 people smell it. This one had 53 people who liked it, 30 people who thought it was neutral, and 17 people who thought it was who disliked it. So yes, 30 neutral and 17 dislikes. Now, the people who liked it said that it was beautiful, that it was sweet, that it was very unique, is what they said. And I suspect it's because of the smoky vanilla type of a vibe to it. The neutral people said that it was, here's a footnote. There were a lot of neutral people said it was good, but not good to wear as a cologne. So I threw them in the neutral category. And so they said it was a good scent, but they didn't think it was a good cologne scent. So take with that what you will. And the 17 people who disliked it, majority of people who disliked it thought that it was either too strong or thought that it smelled too heavily of cloves. Another thing, right? So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, it's a little bit tough. I'm going to give it a rating of a 7 out of 10. I give it a 7 out of 10 for a couple of reasons. Number one, I actually do think that this is an excellent smelling scent, but I do have a hard time actually placing it. You'll notice there's one part of my review that I usually mention that I did not mention, and I wanted to save it till now to actually do this, and that's the occasion that you would actually wear it for. That's the biggest issue that I have with this fragrance. It's the occasion. It doesn't really, just like L'air du Désert de Marocain, it's a great scent. It doesn't really fit any occasion that I can really see wearing it, and it's really strange. And I know it sounds really strange coming from, from a fragrance perspective, but it just smells really good, but it doesn't really fit really like something that you can wear much. I mean, ultimately, actually, there's a good place. It almost smells like a potpourri store. If I would think of something, I would say it smells like a potpourri store. Yeah. And so, while potpourri smells good, you don't really want to smell like potpourri. And that's the best description that I can give for this one. That's the only reason why it gets a 7. I was tempted to give it a 6, but it is a great smelling scent. And I can definitely see some people wearing this one off. And during the summer, again, I actually did like this and did think it was great for a casual scent, one spray on, and it had a very, sweet, unique type of a scent to it. So again, rating is 7 out of 10. If you have any questions on this fragrance, please feel free, let me know, send me a message, do whatever you gotta do. Thank you, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.